Have you ever pondered what events will unfold before the arrival of the Antichrist? This question is not only fascinating, but also crucial for understanding the narrative of the end times. It's essential we discuss, with clarity and reverence, the prophetic sequence leading up to the rise of the Antichrist. This dialogue is not intended to incite fear, but to enlighten, to prepare, and most importantly, to encourage spiritual readiness. So, are you ready to explore this intriguing subject? Let's delve into the scriptures for answers. Before we proceed, it is crucial to understand who the Antichrist is. In the Christian faith, the concept of the Antichrist is a complex one, with various interpretations across different traditions. However, the essence of this figure is broadly agreed upon. The Antichrist is generally understood to be a figure of deception and evil, who will emerge in the end times to lead many astray from the path of righteousness. The term Antichrist is derived from the Greek Antichristos, which means against Christ, or opposite to Christ. This term is mentioned several times in the epistles of John in the New Testament. In 1 John 2:18, for instance, it is written, "Children, it is the last hour. And as you have heard that Antichrist is coming, so now many Antichrists have come. Therefore we know that it is the last hour." The Antichrist, according to Christian belief, is not just one specific person, but rather a symbol of the spirit of opposition to Christ that can manifest in various ways and through different individuals or systems. This spirit of opposition is characterized by deceit, leading people away from the truth of Christ's teachings and promoting false doctrines. The Antichrist is often associated with the end times, a period of great tribulation and deception before the second coming of Christ. Some interpretations of Christian eschatology propose that the Antichrist will be a charismatic leader who will gain worldwide influence and power, only to use it for destruction and to lead people away from God. Understanding the concept of the Antichrist is important because it prepares us to recognize and resist such influences in our lives. It reminds us to stay vigilant, to hold fast to the teachings of Christ, and to discern truth from falsehood in a world that is often filled with confusing and conflicting messages. Now that we have a clearer understanding of the Antichrist, let's examine the signs that precede his arrival. The Bible provides us with several signs that will occur before the Antichrist's arrival. As we delve into the sacred scriptures, we find a wealth of information about the signs of the times. In the book of Matthew chapter 24, verses 5 to 14, Jesus himself speaks of these signs. He warns us of false prophets who will come in his name, claiming to be Christ, and will deceive many. This is a stark reminder to be vigilant and discerning, for not everything that appears holy is of God. Next, Jesus speaks of wars and rumors of wars. He tells us not to be alarmed, for these things must happen, but they are not the end. Nations will rise against nations and kingdom against kingdom. These conflicts, both small and large, will be part of the landscape before the arrival of the Antichrist. Amid these conflicts, the world will also see famines and earthquakes in various places. These natural disasters, causing widespread destruction and loss, will be like birth pains. They are necessary processes leading up to a significant event, much like the contractions preceding the birth of a child. But these are just the beginning of the signs. Jesus goes on to speak of persecution, where believers will be hated by all nations because of his name. There will be an increase in wickedness, causing the love of many to grow cold, yet those who stand firm to the end will be saved. And finally, the gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations. These signs, as described by Jesus, are not meant to instill fear, but to provide a roadmap. They serve as divine alerts, urging us to prepare our hearts and minds, to remain steadfast in faith and to persevere in love. These events, as foretold in scriptures, are just the beginning of what's to come. One pivotal event that the Bible foretells is the great falling away. This phrase, drawn from the second letter to the Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 3, is a prophecy that has intrigued scholars and believers alike for centuries. But what does it mean? The term falling away is often interpreted as a massive departure from faith. a time when many who once professed to believe in Christ will turn their backs on him. It's not a gradual drift, but a deliberate and significant shift, a conscious decision to reject the truth they once embraced. Now, you might be wondering why this is so significant in the context of the Antichrist's arrival. Well, it's because this great falling away is prophesied to occur just before the man of sin, the son of perdition, is revealed. It's like a domino effect, one event triggering the next. You see, the falling away isn't just about individuals losing faith, it's about the collective state of the world and the spiritual condition of humanity. It's about a world so lost in its own desires, so blinded by its own arrogance, that it willingly turns away from the truth. This spiritual void, this absence of divine connection, is the fertile soil in which the seeds of the Antichrist's influence can take root and grow. However, it's also important to remember that this great falling away isn't a cause for despair. Rather, it's a call to action for believers. It's a reminder to hold fast to our faith, to stand firm in the face of trials, and to shine our light in a world growing ever darker. The great falling away isn't just a prophecy, it's a challenge. It's a challenge to be the salt and light of the earth, to stay true to our faith, and to draw closer to God, even as the world pulls away. The great falling away sets the stage for the Antichrist's arrival. But it also sets the stage for believers to rise, to stand firm, and to demonstrate the enduring power of faith in the face of adversity. Following these events, the Antichrist will rise to power. As foretold in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, the Antichrist will emerge from the sea of humanity, embodying all the world's rebelliousness and sin. The Apostle John describes this figure as a beast with 10 horns and 7 heads, representing his immense power and authority. This beast, the Antichrist, will be granted authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation. The Antichrist's rise is not a sudden spontaneous event, rather it is a calculated ascent, shrouded in deception and manipulation. He will step into a world in chaos, offering solutions, peace, and stability. He will appear as a beacon of hope, making him an irresistible choice for a world desperate for leadership. The Antichrist will be a master of persuasion and deceit. He will use these skills to convince the world to follow him, even to the point of being worshipped. This worship, however, will not be compelled by force, but rather drawn out by the Antichrist's cunning and charisma. His reign will be marked by a false peace and prosperity, a temporary respite that will lull the world into a false sense of security. But this peace is a facade, a mask concealing his true intentions: to wage war against God's people and establish his own ungodly kingdom. As we delve deeper into the scriptures, we find that the Antichrist will also perform great signs and wonders, further deceiving those who live on earth. These miracles will serve as a testament to his power, leading many to believe in his divinity. However, those who know the truth will recognize these signs for what they truly are: a deception designed to lead humanity astray. They will stand firm in their faith, knowing that the true king is yet to come. The Antichrist's rise to power marks the beginning of the end. This, however, is not a cause for fear, but rather a call to vigilance and steadfast faith. For those who know the truth, the rise of the Antichrist will signal the nearness of Christ's triumphant return. While these signs and events may seem daunting, they serve as a call to readiness for believers. It's crucial to understand that the end times are not about fear, but about preparation. The Bible gives us numerous clues about what will occur before the Antichrist arrives, not to scare us, but to prepare us. It's like a weather forecast warning us of an upcoming storm. The storm may be powerful and destructive, but if we're prepared, we can weather it. One of the key scriptures that emphasize this need for readiness is found in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 44. Therefore, you also be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. This verse serves as a reminder that we should always be spiritually prepared, as the exact timing of these events is unknown. Preparation for the end times involves growing in our relationship with God, deepening our understanding of His Word, and living a life that reflects His teachings. It's about cultivating a spirit of discernment to recognize the signs of the times and respond appropriately. It's about being spiritually vigilant, always ready to meet our Creator. But remember, preparation isn't about isolating ourselves from the world, but about being light and salt in it, reflecting God's love and truth to those around us. As we see these signs unfold, let us remain steadfast in faith, knowing that our redemption draws near.